What is up, everybody? Welcome to Speak Now Pro Wrestling WrestleMania 41 Night 2 post show. It's your girl, Denise Salcedo. I am live from Las Vegas. I'm at the Circa. Shout out to the Circa guys because they provided me this hotel to stay in. And as a content creator who is solely, this is my only job that I do. It is a massive help for Circa to be able to support me, and comp my hotel is massive. I'm super thankful to the Circa, so I want to make sure to shout them out for that. But with that being said, we got to get into WrestleMania Night 2. So for WrestleMania 41 Night 2. Dang guys. So look, legit, I thought that I was gonna come in here and be like, yeah, let's effing go. This show is a million. I mean, I guess I still am in a way. Never mind, scratch that. I still am. This show, WrestleMania today, was a million times better than night one. Okay. Let me say that right off the bat. Night two wiped night one out of the water. If I had to go back and watch this show, I would only watch select matches, and all of the select matches would be on night two of WrestleMania. So yesterday I had to come on here and be like, yo, what the hell? This WrestleMania wasn't great. And I hated that, man, because I really hate talking about shows that I don't love. I hate that. It's my least favorite thing to do. I love to talk about shows that I enjoy and that I have a good time with. And for the most part on today's show, I felt like there was a lot of really good stuff. And of course, I'm already going to say this right now. Match of the night, and nothing came, well, one match came close but didn't top it. Match of the night. Iyo Sky successfully defending her title against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. All right? Match of the night, hands down. Moment, I would say, was definitely Joe Hendry going out there with Randy Orton and having that surprise matchup and having Randy Orton do the pose and everything. Dominik Mysterio being cheered and applauded in winning the Intercontinental Championship. Those were some massive, cool moments for WrestleMania, okay? So definitely a million times better. However, with that being said, I must warn you now, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes was not for me. I did not like what they did in this matchup here, and this has nothing to do with the outcome. We all went into this knowing that John Cena was going to win. That's 1000% fine. I'm thrilled. John Cena, 17th world champion. Incredible. That's what the heel turn was for. Happy that he hit that milestone and that this happened. But the matchup and the finish of this match, I was so disillusioned, maybe. I don't know if that's the right word, but I felt like this became too too hokey, too showy. I don't even have the right words for it. I really don't. The reason I did not like this main event matchup was I thought that the match itself was not really good. It was very dull in the first several minutes. And I kept thinking, okay, well, at least the last, if it's kind of, not that great in the beginning, maybe the last 5 to 10 minutes will be good, right? Because we've gotten so many matchups like that before where it's like the first half, maybe it isn't that great, but at least we end with some fireworks. At least we end with a sprint of a match, where everybody gets out of their seats and they're really, really excited. I didn't bite on any of the near falls, and I kind of hate that because there's nothing, as a wrestling fan, I'm going to be honest with you, I love me some near falls, okay? I love that moment where you think it's going to happen and then it doesn't, and you have this elated feeling where you're like, I can't believe it. It didn't happen, or it did happen. And I love those moments, but it all happens as to like what leads up to that. And I didn't feel that we got that in this match. Once we got to the ref bump, we all have been here before. We know how this works, guys. We get ref bumps all the time. It's a thing. It's just what we see in pro wrestling, whatever. But I thought, okay, here we go, ref bump. Let's see what craziness happens here. Now, when I say craziness, I was expecting The Rock. I was expecting Dwayne The Rock Johnson, okay? Dwayne, the man who, oddly enough, wanted Cody Rhodes' soul, okay? He wants this man's soul. He tries to shower him with gifts and love and all this crap so that he could sell him his soul. Cody Rhodes stands up to him and says no. And this led to John Cena turning heel. And oh my God, everyone's like, holy shit, what a crazy moment. And Triple H goes on the press conference and he's like, are you guys excited now? And we're like, yeah, we're excited now. And whatever, right? So we're expecting The Rock. It's WrestleMania, one of the most expensive WrestleManias of all time. And The Rock was in a part of this story. He was not mentioned much throughout this feud with John Cena and Cody. And I thought maybe they're not mentioning him because, he's going to come back at WrestleMania. Maybe they wanted to be a little bit of a surprise, which is weird, but not really a surprise, but still, whatever. I think people were truly expecting The Rock. I was expecting The Rock. And instead, it was Travis Scott. And fine, Travis Scott was part of the Elimination Chamber, so it did make sense to have him out there. He busted Cody Rhodes' eardrum. We know that, okay? Travis Scott comes out. And here's the thing. In matches like this, when someone comes out, I want it to be quick. You know what I'm saying? They go out there, they run out there, they do the spot that they need to do and do whatever it is they need to do in the match. And there, we continue on. But this was like a full-on pause. Like, we're driving the car. This wasn't just a let me slow down a little bit. There's a yellow light. No, this was full-on stop, turn the car off. Let's park the car for 5 minutes and sit and wait until we decide to move the car again, because they had Travis go out there and he... This is a big giant rampway, guys. A big giant rampway. And he comes out and he takes a slow time walking. And it takes the slowest time ever. And I'm thinking, oh my God. Okay, first of all, at this point, Cody Rhodes needs to get his ass up, right? Like, he can't be beat by these guys now because he's had plenty of time to catch his breath. He's had plenty of time to go out there and get his momentum, right? And he did, thankfully. But so Travis goes out there and he ends up having this confrontation with Cody Rhodes. And reminder, he busted his eardrum, like legit. Busted his eardrum, all right? We're all expecting for some, massive moment here, right? And already, so Travis gets in there and Cody gets him with the crossroads, and that was kind of it. Throws him out. It was kind of funny when he did try to kick him out because he was kind of struggling to get him out there, but whatever. So Travis Scott takes the crossroads, and that's it. That's his receipt. And I'm thinking, cool, crossroads, but let's be real. It was a baby touch. He could have they punched him a little bit. I don't know, roughhouse them. I'm not gonna say do all that, but make it look a little bit more mean, a little bit more nasty. This man ruptured your eardrum, bro. We should be afraid of you. Like, he should be afraid. And mind you, they still even shared some words. He tried to slap him, and Cody was like, "Nah, you're not gonna slap me." I think that the beat down on Travis Scott could have been far more. Far more, sell it more, do a little bit more there. So the Travis Scott element I did not love. So Cody Rhodes goes out there after the Travis Scott bit. He goes in there with John Cena. He's about to get the victory on John Cena, and freaking Travis Scott pulls the leg of the referee, so obviously doesn't finish counting the 3. And then after this, the referee is taken out once again, and then John Cena ends up hitting Cody Rhodes with the championship belt, and we end up seeing John Cena, defeat Cody Rhodes just like that. And I'm like, really? That's it? What? That's it? I personally just did not like the way that we got to it. I did not like the how long it took for the match to I wouldn't even say take off, because I don't even know if it ever did, but it took too long. And then we get to the Travis Scott portion. That takes even longer. And then we just get this quick, like that moment where John Cena just wins just like that. No Rock, no nothing, no, there wasn't that. The speed, there was no adrenaline in heading into the finish. I love when the finish feels like I'm up and I'm down and I'm excited and it feels like a rush. And you guys know what I'm talking about. You're wrestling fans. You felt that way before for finishes, and it just did not feel that way. Seeing John Cena win the 17th World Championship, that was awesome. That was cool. I love that. That was great. But everything else before that just did not hit the mark with me, unfortunately. So I was not a fan of this main event. It just wasn't for me. And I did not like how much attention and how much attention was given and put on solely for Travis Scott. And I get it. He's a star. I 100% get that. But again, this was just not for me, and I did not like the ending of, I didn't like the main event, and I didn't like the ending of the main event. But I did like John Cena obviously winning, but that, fine, cool, great moment. We knew that was going to happen. But man, I was just a little bit down on, that. But with that being said, we do have some super chats. So I'm curious to get everybody's thoughts on the show. And then also, I am also, there's a lot of things I did love on the show that I can't wait to talk about because there was far more to get into here tonight than there was last night. So with that being said, let me get into some super chats. We got Enigma316 who says Dynamite greater than WrestleMania. Actually, I had a lot of people say that they really enjoyed NXT Stand and Deliver. A lot of people said that I still haven't watched it, guys. I've been so crazy busy here in Las Vegas. I've had really late nights, so I haven't had a chance to watch Stand and Deliver. I'm really hoping to come to watch it either tomorrow or most likely it's going to be on Tuesday right before NXT because I still have so much video editing to do. But I also heard a lot of people really loved Stand and Deliver. We got Manuel Cifuentes. By the way, thank you, Enigma. We got Manuel Cifuentes here who says, thanks for watching for us, Denise. So I didn't have to attend night too. Manuel, thank you for joining the watch along. We got the Champ 39 who says the night started well, but the ending ruined it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was ready to be like, this is how you do WrestleMania. You know, that's the kind of energy that I was ready to that's what I thought was going to go down. That's what I thought I would be talking about right now. John Taylor says, I enjoyed night two better, although preferred the night one main event. Also, that lady who got hit by the ATV, like Larry Parker got me 2 million. So let me talk about that right now. Okay. Stone Cold Steve Austin came out, right? Awesome, hell yeah. And he was basically out there to read the attendance numbers for WrestleMania. And he went out there in the ATV, right? And it was funny too, because I was even saying, damn, Stone Cold Steve Austin freaking drives that thing like all wild. Like, dude, like makes it look so easy, right? Because he like speeds down the ramp and it's really cool to see. But then as he's like going around the ring, that's a lot harder, guys. Like there's not that much space. He has to do the turns. And so it looked a lot more difficult. And once he got around the corner of the ring, his what is it, the 4x4? I forgot what I was calling the fourth wheel. There you go, the four wheel crashes right into the barricade, right? And they didn't replay it, so we only saw this one time, right? So he hits the barricade, and I see like a girl, and she like, I don't know. I saw her like lift her head up. I don't know what exactly happened. From what I saw, I couldn't see her actually getting hit. I thought he just hit the barricade, but obviously we don't have a view of what happened on the other side. So, I don't know if she got hurt. It may seem like it only because after Stone Cold did his speech and everything, and he read the numbers and he pumped up the crowd and blah, 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 and he did all his thing. There was a camera shot of Nick Khan, who had left his seat to go and check up on this fan, who may or may have not been hurt. I don't know. I'm pretty sure by the end of this stream, we're probably going to have an update on that. But dude, the first thing that I thought to myself was, first of all, I hope this person is okay. I hope that actually they didn't get hurt or anything. But if they did though, or if it's even like a small injury or something, dude, they're probably like, they could literally, like, if this person got hurt, like legit, if they did get hurt, that's a money making thing for them right there. Like, I'm not even gonna, like, I hate to say it, but come on. I would be like, yo, where's my money? If that was me, I'd be like, where's my money? Y'all need to pay me. But no, seriously, hope that person's okay. And it was an interesting little moment there. So it seemed like they were definitely checking up on that, because clearly they don't want to get, a lawsuit or anything like that. Thank you, John. We got Miguel G, who says Denise Smart not paying for the show. Well, I don't pay for the shows because I'm press, so I'm usually in the press box. But I know a lot of people were like, wait, Denise is at WrestleMania, but why is she doing her watch along from the hotel? And it's truly because I really want to enjoy the show, guys. I want to enjoy the show. I don't get to have the best view at the press box. and I usually watch on my computer anyways on the press box. So it's kind of like, all right, well, I might as well do it where I'm comfortable. And so I can do my show and do my podcast and do the things that I need to do. Thank you, Miguel. We got Stuart Bridgman here who says, Denise, you made this Mania weekend awesome. Thank you for all that you did. Thank you, Stuart. I attended a shit ton of events. I haven't even finished off everything that I need to do. And all the events that I've attended, it's just been crazy nonstop. But I've been having the best time, obviously, covering WrestleMania. Covering events on the ground is my favorite thing to do because I get to upload videos and share them, and the fans really enjoy them, and they enjoy seeing cool behind the scenes content of their favorite wrestlers. So I definitely enjoy providing people that. Thank you, Stuart. We got Infamous Raider Loco here who says, to the AEW marks, no need to bash WWE. I enjoy both for all different reasons. They are both perfect. No bin times. There have been times where I watch Kelly Connection more than Dynamite. There's times where I watch Denise Raw watch along more than the show. No need to bash. That always happens too, by the way, on both sides. I see it on both sides. Like the AEW has a bad or a good show, it gets compared to WWE. If WWE has a good or a bad show, it gets compared to AEW. There's going to be hits and misses for both. Thank you, Infamous Raider Loco. You got Dice Struck Fajal here, Francis, who says, sorry to swear, but where the fuck was The Rock? Don't worry, I did the swearing for you. That's kind of the tangent that I just went on, guys. Like, this is one of the most expensive WrestleManias. Truth be told, I'll ask you guys honestly, if you spent that much money on WrestleMania and you now knowing the show that went on, would you think it would be worth it? Honestly, I don't know. I mean, you guys saw the prices. They were very expensive. I would have definitely, I mean, God, I don't know. I mean, I couldn't justify paying those prices either way. But now in hindsight, I would kind of be like a little irritated. I'd be like, yo, man, I spent like $10,000 on this seat. What the hell? Luis Arturo Mendez says, I never thought Cena would be champion in 2025. Yeah, it's going to be kind of cool to see eventually. By the way, during this match, I think one of the most interesting parts about John Cena and Cody Rhodes, truthfully, was the crowd reactions, because the crowd was really, really torn. Then there was people that were, booing majorly Cody Rhodes and cheering for John Cena, and of course, people cheering for Cody and booing Cena. So that dynamic of it all was 100% spot on. And I go back and watch my Elimination Chamber review. I spoke about this very thing happening. I literally said in that Elimination Chamber review, when John Cena turned heel, in that video, I said, there is going to be a majority of the crowd that turn on John Cena. It's gonna happen. And so, I mean, it did. Oh my gosh, guys, someone just sent me a picture of The Rock, since we're on the topic right now. I don't know if this, someone just sent me a picture of The Rock in Hawaii. Someone on Twitter tweeted, Dwayne right now while this match is happening, and it's well, he flipped over and it's Dwayne in a hammock. I don't know. That's pretty funny, actually. So shout out to that person for that tweet of The Rock in his hammock. But yeah, legit, bro. Where the F was The Rock? We got Trevor Al here who says even the WWE post-show panel is referring to the main event as a clunker. Well, and those post-show panels, like, they got to be very well. They're probably doing it in kayfabe, in the sense where, I mean, of course, I'm not watching it, but I'm assuming they're doing it in the sense where it's like Cody Rhodes got screwed and Cody Rhodes is a babyface and he got screwed. They're probably referring it to that in that sense, in the WWE kind of way, right? Because they're not obviously going to, a WWE panel, a WWE post show is not going to, talk negatively or share any negative emotion towards a storyline or a match, right? If they do so, it's going to be in kayfabe. Thank you, Trevor. We got Felipe C here who says, Travis, you'll never be Bad Bunny. Yo, I have mad respect for Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny came out, and when he did that match with Damian Priest, when he did the WrestleMania match, when he busted out a Canadian Destroyer, bro, I was so on board. I'm like, you know what, Bad Bunny? You freaking go, Bad Bunny. I don't feel the same way about Travis Scott at all. Heidi Ho here. Thank you so much for the super chat. He says, I love Reg BTW. I'm not going to roast him on here. My lights are on and my water is running. My cars are home and paid for. If someone is passionate enough about wrestling that they block people, that just makes me giggle. Well, again, I don't have any idea what's going on there, but thank you so much for the support, Heidi Ho. And I hope all is good. And thank you so much for the support. You have no idea. Redesign, rebuild, reclaim here says the universal belt is retired, right? Cena 17 or Cena 18? Cena 17. Sucho here says the prototype is champion in 2025. Also, spinner belt returns. I don't know, man, because I mean, John Cena came out here today with no entrance, no music, none of that. So he's not going to give people what they want. And if people want the spinner belt, we are not going to get the spinner belt. Thank you, Sucho. We got Hams and 210 who says, I'll watch Raw after WrestleMania, but I ain't expecting much. You know, there's times where when a show is not, when a show or something like doesn't great, like go off, sometimes it's like the things that happen afterwards that are a lot better. It's weird. Sometimes it just happens like that. Or sometimes you have like a really good show and then the follow up isn't great. So I don't know what to expect from Raw after Mania, but I don't know that I'm necessarily like a 10 out of 10 excitement. I'm excited about certain storylines and certain things that we saw on the show, and I want to see what happens next. But there are some things where I'm just kind of like, all right, I don't know what to think. But Hams and 210, thank you so much for the super chat. All right, with that being said, let me continue on here because I do want to talk about the things that I did enjoy. So I want to get into the match that I think everybody here absolutely loved. And before we do got a super chat from Francis here who says, seriously, Denise, we met at Forbidden Door 2 in Toronto. We know how good shit can be when where the fuck was The Rock? Where's The Rock? He is in Hawaii. He is in Hawaii, clearly enjoying himself, having a damn good pineapple. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like, it's wild to me. It's really, really wild to me. Like, can you imagine, like, I mean, think about last year's WrestleMania, right? The Undertaker goes out there. I mean, they did WrestleMania 40, the ending with Cody Rhodes winning his finishing his story. They did it so right at WrestleMania 40. It was sports entertainment at its finest, 10 out of 10. I don't know what happened here. It didn't have that same magic that ending had. It just did not have that same magic, and that bums me out, man. Really bums me out. I also don't like the way it made Cody look, and I'm a Cody fan. But I just don't like the way they made Cody look at the end of this all. Steve Oja here, member of the DWO for 6 months, says Cena said you got nothing, and he meant it. I kind of liked the shot where when they zoomed out of John Cena's entrance and it's all black and you just see his name, John Cena. I'm surprised they even put his name. I mean, he could have literally just came out dead silence to nothing, no nothing. They could have easily done that, but imagine like if you would have asked John Cena a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, hey, this is what your WrestleMania and your last WrestleMania entrance is gonna be like, you'd be like, what? This is the way that it's gonna go down. This is insane, right? Because hey, it's John Cena, and that was his last WrestleMania. John Stamey says Lyra dual champion. Let's go. I can't wait to talk about that too. Thank you so much, John Stamey. We got Kevin Lee here who says worst main event in WWE history by far. All they did was repeat Elimination Chamber, but added the title. Fake champ is here. Best match was Becky Lyra winning tag team titles. So you know, they didn't necessarily repeat. I wish they would have. No, I don't wish, but I wish that the ending of this had the same energy, that the same vibes, that the way that Elimination Chamber ended. Because when Elimination Chamber ended, everybody was excited. Everybody was excited. People were surprised. They felt like fans. They felt just genuinely excited about what they were seeing and were ready to go on a hell of a ride. And I will never forget the way that Triple H opened up his press conference, and he basically like told everybody like, oh, you guys are excited now, because he had seen some of the critique on social media about people not being so hot on the road to WrestleMania coming out of the Royal Rumble. And so, you know, he was saying, hey, here we go. This is it. Like, this is the ride we're going to go on. And so I really got excited, and I just don't know that I hope SummerSlam is better. I really, really hope SummerSlam as a whole is better. JK, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that a whole lot. Thank you for your generosity. We got Alex. Thank you so much for your generosity as well. Alex says, was driving home from Easter brunch during the women's triple threat, that title match, and listened to your commentary while driving. We'll rewatch it later, but wanted to say thanks for doing a great job. Alex, thank you so much. Hope you had a great time spending Easter with your family. Easter's my favorite holiday. So I hope you had a good one here. And the women's triple threat, oh boy, you are going to have the best freaking time watching that match. With that being said, I might as well get into it right now. Iyo Sky, Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley. Jesus Christ, where do I begin? This match wasn't even that long, but from bell to not even bell to bell, rewind, the entrances, even the entrances were phenomenal. Iyo Sky with that really colorful robe, Bianca Belair with the big red roses robe and the gold and the really intricate design. She always goes really all out with her gear. Rhea Ripley with this cool like crown that had a little mask, and then she also had like almost like a veil, a mini veil on her face, and then wearing that bold red lip. Oh, she looks so freaking cool. So even from the entrances, they were already just spectacular, right? But then this matchup begins, and what we end up getting here, I don't even know how to describe. They just kick so much ass. This never went 0 to 100. This was 100 the whole freaking time. The whole freaking time. They did so many unique spots. Iyo getting her face smashed into a right into the turnbuckle. Seeing 450 splashes. Seeing the moonsault with the knees up when Iyo hit it and Rhea got her knees up. There were so many. Oh my God. They just went to town and people were chanting, "This is awesome." And at one point, I didn't even know which direction they were going to go in anymore. I had gone into this saying, Iyo Sky needs to win because Iyo Sky has been constantly getting disrespected. And in this matchup, she showed, do not disrespect this champion because I am a freaking fighting champion and I can do extraordinary things. She's the genius of the sky for a reason. And that's exactly what we saw in this match. Oh my God, there was a moment. And sorry, guys, I didn't take no notes on this. So this is all just by memory. And you know, when you go to a really good concert and you're trying to remember every little detail because you enjoyed yourself so much, you have like concert fog. That's how I felt with this matchup. There was a moment where Rhea got hit so freaking hard. She got whipped by Bianca Belair's braid. It was insane, guys. And just the back and forths that they did. This match was completely and utterly wonderful. Wonderful. And Bianca, unfortunately she lost her streak, but damn, to me she's still Miss WrestleMania because of the caliber of matches that she puts on. But somebody that's also, just putting a ton of great caliber WrestleMania matches. Obviously, Iyo loved her match that she had last year with Bayley, but Rhea Ripley, we talk often about her match with Charlotte Flair, and now this is one that the new conversation is going to be, hey, do you remember that time when she faced Iyo and Bianca? That is where we're at right now because they just did a tremendous job, and they set the bar for the night, and nothing topped that. Really, nothing topped that. If you did not watch this WrestleMania, please go back and watch this match. It's one of the best, might be one of the best women's WrestleMania matches of all time. If not, definitely top 3. I guess it just depends on your personal preference, but this one is definitely up there, and I feel like they really earned their paycheck, guys. And this is one match that I want to go back and rewatch because there are so many things, so many spots that happened in this match that I didn't even name. You guys need to watch this. And if you did watch this match, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know the energy, you know the aura that they matched. It was a WrestleMania caliber match. And that's what people tune in for. Because when you have people like Shawn Michaels, for example, that goes out there and has the bouts that he has with people like The Undertaker, people like Kurt Angle, and you have Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar, where you have all of these really great WrestleMania match. Hell, we just had our first ever WrestleMania match inducted into the Hall of Fame with Bret versus Austin. And so now we look back at WrestleMania as the time where people go that extra mile, where full battery charge. What does my AI husband, Jacob Fatu, says? No brakes, all gas. And so those are the kind of matches that make WrestleMania special. And this match, this women's triple threat, is the one that made WrestleMania 41 special. These 3 women, they did that shit, and they deserve their respect for that because they killed it. Thank you so much, Alex. We got CJ here who says, gotta show support for the G, Gial? What is Gial? Gial? Denise, I'll take it. Okay, I'll take it. Night 2 saved Mania for me, but still like a 6 out of 7 out of total. Fatal 4-Way was best match of the night in my opinion. So CJ, I'm so glad you brought that up because I was going to say, in my opinion, the match that got, obviously I said triple threat women's match, that was match of the night, but I think the match that got closest to that, second best match of the night in my opinion, was the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental Championship. This was fun. Just freaking fun. This was one of those matches where you can show it to a non-wrestling fan and they're going to have a great freaking time. Braun Breaker, bro, he was going out there and just taking every guy down. I said that at one point it seemed like he was anybody that got in his path, they were bound for destruction because it was almost he would turn one direction, take this guy out. Frankensteiner on Finn Balor, spear on Dominik, do all of these things that he was just going for. And so Braun Breaker was like this machine and he could not be taken down. And then we had everything that happened between Dominik Mysterio and Finn Balor. We ended up seeing them go at it, which is what we anticipated as well. Dominik Mysterio hitting the 619. Dominik Mysterio getting cheered and people getting behind him in this match. Dominik, as of right now, I consider Dominik a babyface. Let me say that again. Dominik Mysterio as a babyface right now. What? I never thought I would say those words. Dude was getting cheered. People were behind him. Obviously, you guys know he won the Intercontinental Championship. There was a moment where Carlito kept getting involved, right? And Braun Breaker. So Carlito was trying to put Penta through a table. I was so mad. I was so nervous. And then out of nowhere, Braun Breaker pops up and he ends up spearing Carlito right through that commentary table. That was a really, really cool spot. And Penta obviously kicked ass in this too, but it was just a really, really fun match. And this was my second favorite match of the night. And I was hoping that this match delivered, and I'm going to tell you, I feel like it over-delivered. It even surpassed my expectations of what I was expecting from this. And so with that being said, Dominik Mysterio is now looking like he's a babyface, and he is a Intercontinental Championship, Intercontinental Champion, excuse me. So that's just freaking cool. So cool. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else I wanted to say about this match in particular. Yeah, Dominik. Oh yeah, Dominik also when he came out with the mask and he couldn't get it off. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah, I'm trying to see what else I remember from this, but it was definitely worth watching. That's for sure. It's definitely up there for me as a highlight of the show. We got Francis here who says, "I know, right? Magic if he showed up, but here's my real question: where the f was the Rock?" Thank you, Francis. Steven Marchuli says, does Cody get the bout back on Raw? I'm assuming he gets the bout back. If he gets the bout back, it'll happen at SummerSlam is my prediction. And that's if he gets the bout back this year. If. We got Francis here who says women's title match was match of the night for me. Excellent. A++. I completely agree with you. Tracy WV88 says, so what do they say? It's how you leave them. And last night they left us shocked and excited for what's next. And then tonight they left us with that lame. And what's crazy is that I wasn't even in love with last night's ending either. And it was so funny today because obviously I was talking with people about the show and the people that loved the ending were all like, Seth Rollins was like their favorite wrestler. So if Seth Rollins is like your favorite wrestler, oh, they were in love with the ending, right? And for me, as CM Punk was my favorite wrestler, so I wasn't as crazy about it. So that one was kind of interesting where here's the thing, if you ask different people on that one, they're going to give you a different response. But with this one here, this one was just, I wish that Cena winning his 17th world title was cooler. I really do wish it because it's going to be cool. Hey, he broke the record. He's doing it great. 17th world champion. Love it. Awesome. But damn, do you remember how that happened? Like that's going to be the conversation around that. And I wish the conversation around that monumentous world title victory I wish that it was a lot stronger for sure. Thank you so much to Tracy. We got Salcedo boss. Hey, says Dirty Dom winning was the highlight of the night. From now on, instead of not letting Dom talk by booing, we shouldn't let him talk by cheering. I can't believe it. Dominik Mysterio, a baby face. And I think now people are gonna even cheer for him like even harder. So it's gonna be fun, and they got to tread. And it happened naturally too. I don't feel like it was shoved down our throats. It wasn't like, here, you gotta love Dominik. They didn't do that. It happened naturally. It really, really did happen naturally there. We got Francis here who says that cheesy smile with the mustache and long ass mullet. Dom is not the champion we need. He's the one we deserve. Everyone fell in love with the mullet, guys. It's there. Thank you so much, Francis. We got David here who says WWE only cares about advertisers and making headlines now. Sad. I'm really disappointed. Where the hell was The Rock? He only shows up once every 6 months and doesn't even come for the big moment. Yeah, he needed to be in this big moment, guys. He was part of the storyline. He wanted the man's soul. He was there when John Cena did the turn. This feels like they just wanted a headline with Travis Scott in it. Travis Scott and John Cena. John Cena, the Hollywood actor. You know, Travis Scott, the rapper. Cool. Headline. But I think for the fans, the wrestling fans, the WWE fans were kind of like, what? Yeah, I'm really bummed out about that main event, but I still shout out to the women. Shout out to the women, shout out to the Fatal 4-Way, honestly. But there were some other moments that I did enjoy in the show, and the next one that I want to talk about is Randy Orton defeating Joe Hendry, TNA World Champion Joe Hendry. So here's the thing. We all know, unfortunately, Kevin Owens got injured, neck injury, and he's going to be out for the foreseeable future, right? And by the way, shout out to Randy. I did get a chance to interview him. Check out that interview, guys. That was the first time I ever got to talk to Randy. So that was a very cool moment for me. But we were wondering, okay, who is going to be his mystery opponent? I was actually thinking that I kind of fell into the hype that I think I was seeing online with people throwing out the names such as, Miro or Malachi Black, those kind of people. But here's the thing, though. I'm so much happier that it was Joe Hendry. And I say that because I'm a bigger Joe Hendry fan than I am a Miro fan, than I am a Malachi Black fan. And so that I actually, even though I wasn't considering Joe Hendry, because I legitimately wasn't considering Joe Hendry, I saw people mention him in the chat, but I'm like, yeah, that's a nice thought, but it's not going to happen. That's honestly what I was thinking. I was not predicting Joe Hendry whatsoever. So he just wasn't in my realm of thought. And so him being the one to come out here, far better than anything else I had anticipated. Far better. So I actually felt like, okay, this is a really cool WrestleMania moment because I didn't even think that it was going to happen. And I mean, now Joe Hendry has had, this really cool Royal Rumble moment where he gets speared by Roman Reigns, and that was a really cool little confrontation there. And now he has this match with Randy Orton in his 20th WrestleMania match ever for Randy. So really cool there. Obviously a very brief match, but I love the aftermath of it. So after Randy wins, he lifts up Joe Hendry, right? And they have like a bonding moment, sort of like a respect moment. And it was really nice, right? You see Joe Hendry, he's looking emotional, like, damn, I just did it. I performed at WrestleMania. And then Randy ends up hitting him with an RKO again. That was so funny because then afterwards, Randy does the Joe Hendry meme where he turns around and then he even throws up his arms for the RKO pose that he does. It was just enjoyable, very, very enjoyable. And it really wasn't about the match, it was about the moment. It was about the moment of Joe coming out and the moments afterwards that made this special. So I really did enjoy that a whole lot, so I wanted to make sure to shout that out. We got CJ here. Thank you for the super chat. Says, I think I got it as the men's triple threat at number 1. You mean the women's triple threat at number 1, the Fatal 4-Way at number 2, and you mean I know what you're saying. Sorry. I just realized you're combining both nights. My bad. CJ says, men's triple threat from night 1 at number 1, Fatal 4-Way at number 2, and women's triple threat at number 3. Honorable shout for Drew and Priest. Also, thank you for mentioning Drew and Priest because that's the match I want to get to next. This match was a good match. The Cincinnati Street Fight, Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. But I think what I loved the most it was more so the finish. I loved the finish of the match. And the reason I liked it was because it was really believable that Damian Priest lost in this fashion. So And they also proved me wrong. They proved me wrong. So during this matchup, Drew McIntyre sets tables up on the outside. And I even said during my watch along, oh, we all know Drew McIntyre is going to go through those tables now because, hey, that's usually what happens to the person who sets up the table. We know person who sets up the table ends up going through the table, right? And so it didn't happen that way. It did not happen that way. Instead, there was a Damian Priest was going old school, right? He was doing, shades of the Undertaker. And I had forgotten that minutes prior, Drew had set up the tables on the outside. So he pushes Damian into the tables, right? Brings him back into the ring, sets him up, puts him in the turnbuckle, puts the chair there behind his head, and claymores the man's head into a chair. Table spot, chair spot with the claymore. That was a very, very believable finish where I bought, hey man, Damian Priest did all he could. He's out, bro. And I love that. I thought this was a good win for Drew McIntyre and a very fine match. And I love the placement of it too because it followed the women's triple threat. And the women's triple threat was such a good wrestling match. This one was more of a fight, more of a brawl. And I appreciated the difference and the contrast in the opening match and the second match of the night, which just set the tone for a more like the first 4 matches, guys. The first 4 matches of the show, everything was hitting. Everything was hitting. That leads me to a match that I didn't think hit was Logan Paul and AJ Styles. This wasn't a bad match, guys. I don't know how to describe this. Like, it wasn't a bad match, but shit, I don't remember that much from it. It wasn't a memorable, nor was it an exciting matchup. They had one of Logan Paul's friends get in there and get involved in this match. Karrion Kross did come out and he basically stopped the guy from moving forward and ruining the match for AJ Styles. But Karrion tries to give AJ the brass knucks and AJ doesn't want to use it. Oh my God, that reminds me. The other thing I wanted to say about Cody and John Cena. Why didn't Cody Rhodes, sorry, I'm just realizing I forgot this big moment that really upset me. Why did Cody Rhodes hesitate using the championship belt? Why? Why did Cody Rhodes hesitate using the championship belt? Bro, the referee was down. You had an opportunity, and I get it. He's a babyface. He wants to go above and beyond and do everything right. F that, dude. F that. This man attacked you 3-on-1 at the Elimination Chamber. 3-on-1. Screw that. Hit him with the damn belt. Cody, you were justified. You were justified. You should have hit him with the belt. Yeah, that was another part that I forgot to mention. Sorry, guys. Anyways, that reminded me of that because AJ refused to use the brass knucks. Totally different situation, of course. And he throws the brass knucks. Maybe he should have used the brass knucks. Who knows? Maybe he should have since he lost the match. But Logan Paul gets this win. I didn't think this match was very eventful. It just didn't. I actually had higher expectations of this matchup. I just didn't think it was what it was. I think the match was too long for too little that actually went down. Oh man, guys, now I'm heated again after thinking about Cody not using that championship belt. We got Francis here who says, agree with David, where the F was The Rock. The Rock's probably laughing at all of us right now, chilling in Hawaii. Tracy says, I was actually waiting for Seth and Paul if no Rock. I actually wasn't expecting Seth and Paul at all, so they weren't even in my atmosphere at the moment. I was literally just thinking of The Rock. And I thought, okay, once Travis is out there, okay, cool, they're setting it up. We're waiting for The Rock. He's going to come next, clearly. And then he didn't. Chinaduo Goo, thank you so much for the super chat. My co-host for Tuesdays NXT says Travis was not needed. Punk versus Cena at SummerSlam. I hope so, and I hope Punk wins. Chinadu, thank you for throwing out this idea. I am on freaking board. I'm on freaking board because part of me wondered if Cody is going to get his title back from Cena, but I think it may be too soon to go back to it. So, hey, there's an opening. Who else might you want to be champion? Maybe that's CM Punk. Chinadu, I like this idea. Thank you so much for sending that in. We got David here who says the lady who got hit by Stone Cold better be asking for a refund after the atrocity and free Mania tickets for life. I mean, I don't know, dude. It depends, right? You either get money or you get free WrestleMania tickets for life. I don't know, whatever they prefer. I would definitely ask for the money for sure. Ask for the money. Uh, but yeah, hopefully that person is okay though. Thank you, David. We got Francis here who says shout out to Kerry King, Slayer effing rules. Yeah, so they did Damian Priest's entrance. Very cool, by the way. Also loved Drew McIntyre's entrance as well. I thought that was pretty sick. So I did enjoy that. I thought the entrances all really kicked ass today. Like really kicked ass for pretty much everybody. Thank you so much to Francis. And let's go ahead and move on to the next matchup here. Actually, let me just catch up really quickly. We got a super chat from JB. Thank you so much, JB. He says that main event sucked. Such a terrible way to end Cody's reign, and hated the way Cena won his 17th title. Disgraceful. JB, man, I'm with you. I really am with you. I really hate that that's the way it went down, especially because there was so much buzz around this match and there was a lot of people that were really excited about it. And I feel like people feel let down about it, you know? I don't know what to say, JB. Thank you so much for the super chat. But seriously, thank you also to Uncle Donk for this very, very, very generous super chat, man. I'm so thank you. He says, please, no more part-time wrestlers, actors, The Rock, a no-show. Cody were no-shows leading up to WrestleMania. There's no flow to the story. It's unfair to creative, and it's unfair to Cody because he had to hold it down without Cena leading up to tonight. That's true. There were a couple of weeks where Cody had to go out there, cut promos, and basically get whatever he possibly could out of this feud without John Cena being there. And thankfully, you know, John Cena was able to do the SmackDown before WrestleMania, and that did help. But definitely the build to last year's WrestleMania match for Cody and Roman was far better. I wish that The Rock played a bigger role in the actual WrestleMania matchup. And it is a bummer. It is really a bummer that happened. And I love when The Rock comes out because he's a big name and he's going to get that pop always. But it feels like it sucks that they did this if there was no intention of him ever showing up to WrestleMania 41. So that really does suck. Just to put in perspective, even people that aren't wrestling fans, I was in my Lyft car and this older woman, an older woman, she was driving, she was a driver, and she asked, I told her I was there for WrestleMania, and she was like, oh yeah, that wrestling thing. She says, you're going to see The Rock, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah, The Rock's most likely going to be there. She's all, I would love to see The Rock. And that was it. That's all she knew. She knew nothing else. Casuals obviously know The Rock because of his Hollywood name. And so I think people really did go with that anticipation, and it just didn't happen. Uncle Donk, thank you for your generosity. Big Mike 1993 says, if I were Flair, I would be disappointed by the way Triple H and writers had Cena win. I don't care why Cody agreed. The Rock is filming Moana live action. Yeah, man. Again, the Cena win was great, except for the way that it actually happened. Except for the way that it happened. Trace, thank you so much, by the way, Big Mike. We got Tracy WB who says, after what Cody did, KO doesn't make sense. After what Cody did, KO doesn't make sense not doing that to Cena with the belt. It means it does match up. We have to wait and see what happens on Raw. Let me just reread that. Sorry for a second. Yeah, I really think he should have hit John Cena with that bout. I think that was the moment that, when he at Elimination Chamber, when Cody Rhodes fired back and he told The Rock to go F himself, that was the Cody that we needed to see throughout this entire feud. And we did for a bit. We saw shades of that. He had some really great zingers to John Cena during their back and forth battles. But damn, man, I'm sad. I'm sad for what they did with that main event. CJ, thank you, Tracy. We got CJ here who says, I think it's damning that the opener for night 1 and the main event of night 2 were both so underwhelming. No Rock, boo, Liv got done dirty. Dang, I was going to say in this situation, it's not even Liv. I think, I don't know what's going on with Bailey, but we need to talk about that too. We do have, by the way, ABCD, who says Cena's at the press conference and just chucked Cody's custom plates to the ground. Is that all he did? Let me know, ABCD, yeah. Thank you so much for that too. We got Infamous Raider Loco who says how many more dates Cena has left for his run. I haven't been keeping track. I think he's taken up like what 10 already, maybe 11, somewhere around that. We got Francis here who says, JB, great minds think alike. Dynamite had the best in-ring action of the week. That's why they do. Seriously, as an AEW fan, night 2 was good. Thank you, Francis. Tracy here says, I meant what Cody did to KO at the Rumble. Okay, sorry. I was a little bit confused by that, Tracy, but thank you so much for clarifying that. All right. With that being said, the other match that I need to talk about that I haven't talked about is the tag team match. Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch, by the way, who was her mystery partner, defeated Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. So going into this matchup, when I thought that it was going to be Lyra and Bayley, I thought that, Liv and Raquel were going to retain because, hey, Bayley and Lyra were just a thrown together team that really didn't make sense. One second they're, competing against each other, and then the next they're tag team partners. And it was announced before they even had their match. It was all just so odd the way that had been put together, especially because Bayley had an opportunity to have a WrestleMania match. Her WrestleMania match could have been Roxanne Perez. If they really wanted to, they could have done it. And had they done it, they would have had a banger of a match because Bayley's great and so is Roxanne. They didn't do that. Instead, she was put into this random tag team match with Lyra and Liv and Raquel. Okay, cool. Then apparently they did an attack angle on Bayley, and we're like, okay, so that's the way that they're going to get Bayley out of this match. So now Lyra needs a partner, and it ended up being Becky. Which is what a lot of people were predicting because Becky, she's Irish. They're both Irish. They've wrestled each other. Whatever. They have history, right? And they have a lot of similarities. But I do feel bad for Bayley. Like if Bayley is not her and she's fine and she's all good to go, it does suck if she was like, hey, you're told you're going to have a match and then don't. And it feels lame because it doesn't seem like they had clearly they didn't have any other real solid plans for Bayley from the looks of it. And even same thing for Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan deserved better too. I really do think Liv Morgan deserved a bigger, better matchup. Yeah, I mean, this was great to see Becky and Lyra have their moment. I love Becky and Lyra, and that was the fun part. But I do think that Bayley kind of got screwed in this. I really do think she did. We got Brian Wilkowski. Thank you so much, Brian. He says, so does Punk save the belt at SummerSlam in a wild twist of fate? I really hope so, Brian. Shinadu threw that out. You mentioned that. I wasn't even thinking about it, to be honest. I really wasn't. But I do want to see that, though. I do want to see that. People have been wondering whether or not they're going to run back John Cena and CM Punk. That's one that they could definitely run back. Another person to keep in mind is Randy. Randy had said that he was going to go for the championship, and they could run back. Longtime rivals, people that have been very synonymous to each other, John Cena and Randy Orton. That's another one. There's a lot of different directions and things that they can do right now with John as champion. And then Cody, I'm wondering how this is where he's going to go from here. John, obviously, Cody will always remain in the main event scene. Maybe they do something with Cody and Drew. That could be something. Damn. I'm not seeing it clearly right now. I mean, clearly him and John Cena are not. They're going to probably still continue John Cena and Cody because after how Cody lost with the interference and all the shenanigans and what happened, clearly he's going to maybe want to get some revenge on that for sure. He kind of got screwed out of his championship bout, but damn, honestly, part of me doesn't even want to see it after this. After what we saw today, I no longer care about John Cena and Cody Rhodes together. I really don't. Like they made me not care about this feud at all after what happened today. And that's a bummer. It's really a bummer. So I hate to say that. Infamous Raider Loco says, enjoy the rest of your trip, DWO leader. Cheers. Thank you so much, Infamous Raider Loco, for your kindness. We got CJ here who says, yeah, poor Bayley. I love Becky down, but what the F? Yeah, I love Becky too, but this just, I hope there's a better reason for Bayley being left off. And I don't know what the better reason would be. CJ here says silver lining, Liv single push again. Now I guess. Yep, she's free of the tag team titles. That is a silver lining. Francis here says glad for my badass ginger girl back. She's the man. Do love Becky. I wish, and it was a nice, sweet moment seeing her and Lyra. But yeah, I do also, can't wait. I can't wait for them to start a program with Lyra and Becky because they're not going to be besties forever. Luis Arturo Mendez says, what if the majority of us who has a negative reaction about the main event ending is exactly how they want us to feel? That could be true. I mean, look at what happened with Roman and Cody at WrestleMania 39. And there's a lot of people, everybody has a different philosophy when it comes to booking and booking pro wrestling. And sometimes people think that that heat that you get is a good thing. But I always feel like there's good heat and then there's like legit bad heat, like the go away heat, and a lot of people don't believe in that. A lot of people believe that heat is just heat. I don't believe in that, but I know there's a lot of people that do, so they might see it as a good thing, like, hey, people are talking about it. That's what they're going to see it as. I don't know how else to explain it. Again, everybody has a different philosophy when it comes to stuff like this. Thank you, Luis Arturo Mendez. We got Luke Thornton here who says Punk won't win at SummerSlam because of Crown Jewel. I don't know if he's going to go to Crown Jewel. I have no idea. No idea if he's going to do that. Thank you, Luke Thornton, for asking. That's a good question. I have no idea. Holy shit. All right. Did I cover everything? We talked Cody, John, tag team match, Logan, AJ, Randy, Joe, Fatal 4-Way, Drew, Priest, and then the women's opening match. I was almost going to say women's main event because it was main event in my heart, man. Main event in my heart. Well, I guess that's it, guys. That is WrestleMania 41 Night 2. I would say overall, WrestleMania 41 could have been, as a whole, a lot better. Definitely a lot better, but my biggest, the things that I loved the most was the women's triple threat, Sin City Street Fight, Fatal 4-Way, Randy Joe, and those were my favorite things of WrestleMania 41, honestly. Jey Uso winning his title, that was very cool too. We already knew that was going to happen. Oh yeah, Jacob Fatu also winning the U.S. Championship, love that too. Tiffany Stratton, even though the match with her and Charlotte was rough, still enjoyed seeing her retain and her women's championship and still get a victory over Charlotte Flair. So those were definitely the moments that I did enjoy from WrestleMania 41. But overall, I did wish it was a stronger WrestleMania 41. I definitely enjoyed WrestleMania 40 more, WrestleMania 39 more, WrestleMania 38 more. So the last couple of the batch of the last couple WrestleManias, I would probably put this one on the weaker side from the last couple of years. But there you go, guys. That's the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to the women one more time before we go. I'm going to end on a positive note. I'm trying to end on a positive note here, guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this post show, if you enjoyed the watch along, thank you guys so much. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. There's tons, and I mean tons of content that I've been posting on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, daily wrestling videos here on YouTube, guys. If you don't believe me, go scroll the videos tab, the shorts tab, the live tab. There's lots happening, and I'll be live tomorrow again for Raw after Mania and doing the post show and all of that stuff. So thank you guys so much, and enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you, everybody. Take care.